You're looking at a champion who overcame a very severe addiction. In fact, just looking at me, you'd probably speculate I have some kind of addiction, and I've spoke on it before. I'm not shy, I'm not afraid. I was addicted to shiny cardboard like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and Magic the Gathering. I didn't beat my addiction through strength of will or through an intervention or professional help. I was able to overcome this addiction because I completed it. I just legitimately finished the addiction. I collected every card that I wanted to over the course of many years, so I had nothing left to be addicted to. And let me tell you, a trading card addiction is a serious one. That's up there with crack cocaine. But at least when you're addicted to crack, you have a cool name like a crackhead. I just got called a loser. So, it is what it is. But the point is, as a recovering addict, I'm always at a constant struggle with myself not to fall off the wagon. And today, something wild got announced. A $1 million bounty on a Magic the Gathering card that's coming out in a set this month. It's a one-of-one card, meaning there will only ever be one copy of it printed, and a company has now put a $1 million price tag on its head. They threw up the wanted poster for 1,000,000 clams if you pulled this card and sell it to them. And I gotta be honest, my resolve hasn't been tested this hard since I was trying to lose weight in high school and went to a pizza party. I am scratching at my neck trying to resist the urge to get in on this hunt for that one-of-one card. It's Magic the Gathering, they're doing a Lord of the Rings collab, and they're releasing a one-ring card, and that's the one-of-one. And if you pull the card within a certain time frame, a company called Dave & Adams will pay you $1 million for it. Now, there's a lot of layers to this that make it kind of scummy. I think the obvious one most people are going to pick up on is that this is just legitimately full-blown gambling here, buying these Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering boxes in order to try and pull that card to sell it to Dave & Adams, the company that put out the bounty. Like, it is just full-blown, absolute full-throttle gambling here. And even beyond that, there's a lot of other shady shit that could happen from this and will likely happen. One that I didn't talk about on stream that I want to mention right now is counterfeits. In the trading card world, there's things called proxies or just full-blown counterfeits where they are meant to look identical to the real cards in the game. And sometimes they're extremely convincing that even the most trained of seasoned veterans can't tell the difference between a counterfeit card and a real one. So with a bounty of $1 million here, there's going to be a ton of people claiming that they pulled the One Ring card and submitting a counterfeit. So I don't know how Dave & Adams is going to confirm the authenticity of the card considering only one of them is being printed. So they're not going to have anything to compare it to or any way for them to verify it. Maybe they'd have to get like the company itself, Wizards of the Coast, that produced the card involved. But even them, there's a chance that the counterfeit could fool them. I don't know what measures they put in place to verify the real One Ring card. So this could easily turn into a huge fucking scam with people submitting fake cards that maybe are good enough to convince Dave & Adams that it's the real one and they cash in on that $1 million. Meanwhile, little Jonathan down the road pulls the real One Ring and he's, pumping his fist like, yeehaw, $1 million, I'm gonna help my parents and, get all of these cool toys now. And no one believes him because they just picked up a counterfeit card they thought was the real one. So there's just so much that could go wrong with this and will likely go wrong with this whole bounty idea. I went over it more in depth on stream, so I'm just going to play those clips now, but I just wanted to talk about it because it's wild. All right, I really want to talk about this. We talked about this on stream like a month ago-ish, maybe a little bit longer. Magic the Gathering's doing a collab with Lord of the Rings, and part of the collab is they're releasing a one-of-one card called the One Ring. And it's a cool looking card. Like, I'm not gonna front. And that means they will only ever print one of these things ever. And right now, there is a $1 million bounty if someone pulls this card. But it only lasts until July 17th. That's, whoops, didn't mean to click the link. But that's a crucial piece of information here. This is a very short time period to be pulling a one-of-one. So, what I and many others are speculating is that this whole bounty is a greedy ploy from Dave & Adams to sell as many of these boxes as possible in a short time frame, because the likelihood that you pull the one-of-one within like 3 weeks of the cards coming out is so fucking unlikely. It is so unlikely. It'll probably be a couple of months before that card is pulled. And since they're only doing it for 3 weeks and it expires on July 17th, they probably don't actually plan on paying out $1 million. All right, buy our inventory quickly because you might win $1 million because they're selling boxes. Like here, look, you can grab a box from their website right here. They're posting it right there, right under it. So it seems like it's mainly to drive a ton of interest right off rip to buy boxes from them under the expectation that you have a chance at this card, which obviously the odds are astronomical, but also the time frame is damn near impossible. I would eat my fucking shoe if this card is pulled within the first 3 weeks of launch. That would be a huge blunder from Wizards if this card is pulled that quickly. I just think it's super unlikely. So it really just seems like they tried to choose a crazy number, $1 million, to drum up hype instantly, sell a ton of boxes, and then not have to pay out the bounty because it's past the expiration date when it's eventually pulled. Didn't Post Malone say he was buying the card for $1 million? Did Post say that? I didn't see him make a statement like that. This is the only thing I've seen for a bounty on the cards so far. What if they already pulled the card and now nobody... What if they already pulled the card and knows nobody else can get it, so they put this bounty out to sell more boxes, 5 head? That is Galaxy Brain. That is very Galaxy Brain. Here's my speculation here. I'm getting real conspiratorial. I think Wizards of the Coast is a company that has shown time and time again they're not afraid to get a little swampy. They're not afraid to do some scummy shit. I would imagine they will seed the card. They're not going to just blindly ship this card out in a random box for fucking Old Pop Wiggleberry and Bumblefuck Nowhere to pull and never speak about online. The whole point of the card is someone will pull it and it will be huge PR when it's pulled. There'll be articles written about it. There'll be interviews with the guy who pulled it. There'll be tons of media press around it. And I think Wizards knows that. I don't think they would let some random guy who pulled it like just squat on it. Like that, because there's a chance that some guy could pull this card, not know what it is, and just put it in his binder, never to be seen again. And then Wizards gets nothing out of it. So I really think there's going to be some foul play. I think when this card is pulled, it's going to be by either a YouTuber, a streamer, or someone deep in the community already. I don't think it's going to be just some random nobody. I know it's not legal to do that. That is very much illegal. But how would you ever prove it? True, and if you do prove it, they'll call the Pinkertons. Yeah, exactly. Who's going to investigate them? Wizards of the Coast just fucking sicked the Pinkertons on a YouTuber who accidentally got boxes 2 weeks early. You think they're going to let someone investigating their One Ring shenanigans get away? No shot. Good point, yeah. Get ready for the fucking Pinkertons if you try and open some kind of investigation. I don't think Wizards will allow any possibility of just some random fucking goblin pulling this card that doesn't understand the significance of it. They need whoever pulls it to talk about it. Or actually, maybe not. Because if it never gets publicized that it was pulled, people will probably just endlessly buy the boxes. So maybe I'm wrong. They never made the card 1000 IQ. Yeah, it's all just fake. Oh, Danny had a banger idea. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know how much I love trading cards. Like, and this is cool in theory if it wasn't Wizards. I just really don't like Wizards with what they've been doing recently. Like, all the shit they've pulled against the community with D&D and all of that. And even, like, the 30th anniversary Magic stuff. But I won't lie, this got me tingling. And Danny had a banger idea. Like, if we pulled the card, we'd, like, hold it for ransom, like, way over $1 million. Like, taking a flame to it. Like, if you don't pay up, it gets burned. Come on, nerds. $1 million to save the card? Not enough. Or do a subathon where, like, the flame is constantly, the card is constantly inching closer to a furnace, and every sub pushes the card a little bit away from the furnace to save it. So it's just always down this conveyor belt of destruction unless subs save it. This is some crazy evil shit. As a card shop employee, I can assure you this will be found within days. Sports cards are popular in my shop, and a $100,000 bounty was recently claimed by an 11-year-old kid in a small town in Ohio near me. I'd be willing to guarantee something similar is bound to happen with the Magic card. I don't know, man. I know sports cards aren't too dissimilar. I totally get that. But this is Wizards we're talking about. I just don't think they would let this card be found that quickly. I really don't. I just really don't think David Adams actually plans on paying this $1 million bounty, because I really don't see a world where it gets pulled within 3 weeks of launch. I could be wrong. Like I said, I very much could be wrong. Maybe it does work like sports cards and it gets pulled within the first week. Why don't you think it'll be pulled within the first week? Well, think about it. The only reason people are going to be buying these Lord of the Ring boxes, mainly, is to try and get that card. If that card is pulled within the first week, no one is buying another fucking Lord of the Rings box. Well, unless, of course, they planted some fucking crazy cards in there that changed the entire fucking meta like they did with the Walking Dead collab. You know, like, maybe. But fundamentally, this card gets pulled, set's dead. I just feel like there's no shot people will be buying it, at least not the way they were once the card gets pulled. How about that? How about that, then? The ring calls everyone. Fucking true, man. It actually is just whistling parcel tongue into my ear. What does the One Ring card actually do in the game? I can't remember. This is a 1 of 1, so it's not going to be used in the game, but there is a One Ring card that is just normal print in the game, and I can't remember what it does.